give my best cowboy impression that I could.
So that wasn't an actual mechanical bull, or was it?
No, just a saddle.
Hey, Coach, Anna Lutz and Mia Morrell both got first-team All-State from the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association here in Wisconsin. Just how big is that for your program? Can you talk about what those two girls brought to you all season long?
It's tremendous. Showing that representation the right way for Marshall as a school, as an athletics department, and a community. But all credit goes to those two girls. They put in the extra work. They put in the work that nobody looks at. They put in the work outside of practice, both in the weight room and getting extra shots up early in the morning. And so it's good to see that effort, that energy, and hopefully it motivates others that you get rewarded for things you do outside of just practicing games. And those girls have been great for us the last 2 years. Anna with her ability to play inside and out, and Mia with her ability to control the tempo of the game, both offensively and defensively. Very good 1-2 combo for us, and it showed all year. They just play really, really well together, feeding off of each other. Mia being able to find Anna in the post, and then Anna being able to find Mia outside for open looks. So it's two very tough competitors that want to get better every day, and I'm just proud of to be able to showcase that for them, and then they're being honored as Division III All-State recognition, first team.
Not only those two girls, Coach, but do you think your girls realize, especially with winning state championships around Marshall and just the girls basketball in general, kind of the impact they make on young girls as they try to grow the game of basketball, and they see them play out there, and the impact that they make on people, not just within your community, but girls watching the state tournament in general?
Yeah, they do. I actually received a note from our youth program director. And there's more hype, there's more energy around girls basketball. The youth they want to get better. They want to be in the same shoes those 12 girls were in the last 2 years. So there's definitely a lot of buzz going on right now, and I hope our youth program they feed off of that, and they build off of the success that we've had so far in our first 2 years here at Marshall, and credit goes to all the girls on the team, being prepared every day, getting better every day, and it's not one individual that wins it for us. It takes a whole group, it takes a whole village for us to be successful.
Coach, is it too soon for me to ask you when you start thinking about hitting rarefied air and then trying to go for 3 in a row?
Absolutely. I'm going to enjoy this one for a little while.
Hey, Coach Alex Keller, I appreciate the time that you've given us all season long on the high school OT. We love talking about Marshall girls basketball and, high-class young ladies and people on your staff. It's great covering the team, and it was a fun run to watch them down the home stretch of the state tournament, and hope to talk to you when you roll the balls out next November or October.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Wade, for having us on. We do appreciate it.
You're listening to the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO and DailyDodge.com.
The bakers of Country Hearth and Village Hearth Breads are proud to support local education with Loaves for Learning, the program that makes it easy to earn money for your school. Enjoy Country Hearth and Village Hearth all-natural breads, buns, bagels, and more. Then save the UPC from the package for your school to collect and redeem. Each is worth 5 cents and can be used for books, computers, sports, music, whatever your school needs. Up to $10,000 a year. Learn more at loavesforlearning.com. Country Hearth and Village Hearth Breads, baking our best for you.
The Bayside Supper Club will be open to the public this Saturday, serving their world-famous corned beef and cabbage, full salad bar, roasted chicken buffet, plus a full regular menu. Bayside will be serving Saturday, March 16th from 5 to 9, and on Sunday the 17th for brunch from 10:30 to 2. Green beer specials all weekend. So come in and enjoy some of the best corned beef in Dodge County. Call Bayside today for a reservation at 887-0505.
Well, it's that time of year again. Time to pay in your $5, $10, $20, maybe more, enter that office bracket pool. Probably not going to win anyway.
Bust out of the usual old bracket pool and enter the Daily Dodge Bracket Challenge. Make your picks for a shot at a limited edition Milwaukee Bucks hat, a pair of Milwaukee Brewer tickets, or even $100 cash. And the best part? It's free to enter. Go to dailydodge.com/fantasy to fill out your bracket beginning Monday, March 18th.
The best local sports coverage around. It's the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO and dailydodge.com.
We get it almost every night. And when that moon
Welcome back into the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO and streaming live on dailydodge.com. And for this is a monumentous occasion. This is the first time we've ever done a live video on the High School OT. Throughout the entire course that this program has been in existence, we are now joined with Beaver Dam girls basketball head coach Tim Chase. Coach, thank you for getting up this early to come on the program with us to talk with us this morning.
Thank you, no problem. I'm up always early.
So I don't know. Sometimes after the season's done, coaches like to get away. They get a little different of a schedule going. So appreciate you coming in and talking with us. But as you can see, if you're watching with us or watching on the live video with us this morning, we have the Golden Ball in studio in the dailydodge.com studios this morning. Coach, this is your third time in a row winning one of these trophies. Do you ever get tired at the end of the season hoisting these things up, at the end of the year and winning these trophies? What is that feeling like? And is it the same the first time that you did it back in 2017?
No, they all have a different feeling to them. This year, just was like the perfect season for us. Just an amazing, amazing group of kids that did everything exactly right this year. The season went perfectly to plan and everything that happened.
Now, Beaver Dam comes just the fifth program in girls basketball program to win 3 consecutive state titles. They did so by defeating Monroe 65 to 46 last Saturday. And just take us back to that game, kind of what was going through your players' minds. I'm sure, I know you try to kind of keep everything focused on that game, but I'm sure maybe some of the thoughts were coming into your head about, this is a big game, a chance to win 3 in a row. Just what was the feeling and atmosphere for your players heading into that game?
We always try to stay in the moment. So that game against Monroe is a team we'd played 4 other times over the years with this group of seniors that we had. So it's a team we're very familiar with. Sydney Hilliard, one of the best basketball players in the state, was first team All-State last year, will be again this year. And a couple other kids, Remy Benchell and a few other kids that are just great basketball players. So we really just tried to stay in the moment of the game. Got off to a great start, but Sydney Hilliard, such a good player that she is, we had to keep on fighting, but our kids really responded well. They didn't make any threes that game. We didn't, foul too much. We shot the ball pretty well from 3 and from the free throw line. So, it was a great culmination to our season.
Coach, with 3 trophies, is there one in your mind that stands out to you as being more important than the other? Sometimes coaches say the first one was, is more important because it's the first time you ever won, or the second one because it's always hard to repeat as champions, or the third one because you never see teams really go for 3 in a row. Is there a trophy in your mind that stands out a little bit more than the other, or they're all important to you?
They're all important to us. The first one was just total elation. Finally getting to that level, to be a state championship team. It's so difficult to do, and getting that. Last year's team was just a satisfaction. We had a few bumps in the road last year along the way and had a really tough game in sectionals, but to come through with that one. And then this year, just having a group that from day one just bought into everything. And this year probably had a little extra pressure just with the national rankings and things like that, and wanting to be able to keep that throughout the season.
Yeah, you bring up, those national rankings. ESPN did a piece on you guys throughout the course of the season. It seems like, as you guys have, won, the attention that you guys have been receiving has grown with that as well. What has that been like for you guys in terms of that national exposure? Has anything changed in terms of your players' mentalities or anything like that? But what is that like, having media outlets contacting you for interviews and doing pieces?
Like I said before, we just try to stay in the moment with a lot of those things. As a kid growing up, always looking on ESPN or USA Today and things like that, it's pretty cool to see the team that you're involved with to be in there. But it wasn't something we talked about very much. We understood that there were going to be a lot of expectations, that all we could do is control what we did that week in practice. So we tried to keep those things going. But, big picture, it's looking back on it now, to be considered one of the very best teams in the country. And even after we lost to Miami Country Day in the Florida tournament, the ESPN guy walked by me and gave me a thumbs up, which to me meant, hey, you guys are a good team. And that meant a lot to us at that time.
Yeah, and that team was in most polls the top-ranked team in the country, and Beaver Dam was always right around the top 10 as well throughout the course of the season, so you guys were well represented in all those national polls. But Coach, just want to ask you, kind of now that the season is over and you had a kind of a moment to sort of sit down and kind of reflect on this past season, what stood out to you over the course of this past season in your mind? You guys went 27-1 over the course of the year. We're 14-0 in the Badger North Conference. But what are some of the moments to you that stand out in this season for you?
Honestly, the first day of practice was one of the best days because the kids came ready to go. We just had a group that understood their roles and was going to do everything that they possibly could. So that stands out. The Bennett Academy game, we had lost down in Illinois the year before. Bennett Academy at the time was ranked 15th in the country and made it to the state tournament in the big class in Illinois. Winning down there was great. Obviously, the Florida trip was amazing. Just coming back and playing really well in conference. Our regional championship game, breaking our record of making 18 threes. Not playing a great first half against Slinger and then outscoring them by 30 in the second half. And then culminating with a sectional championship game where we're down by 7 against Notre Dame, a team, a school that I had gone to for high school. And then obviously the state tournament was an amazing tournament for us as well. We finally felt like we shot well and played our best basketball today because the last couple of years we haven't necessarily shot as well at state.
Now, I think one thing that was probably not a great highlight or great moment for any coach in the area were all the delays that we had with the weather delays. Have you ever seen a season that we had this past year where you guys, it seemed like for that stretch there, those couple of weeks, games were getting postponed and canceled left and right. Have you ever gone through a stretch like that in your coaching career?
No, not that much. It was a lot this year. We got most of our non-conference out of the way, so we were in a pretty good shape for that, where a lot of other schools were not. We got our games picked up pretty quick, so we stayed on task pretty well with that. And we lost about a week worth of practice time, which I thought affected our end product a little bit as far as our efficiency in that. But the thing was, we kind of thought it's going to probably affect other teams even more, that they were kind of planning to have those days and that they didn't have them. So in some ways, it probably helped us a little bit. And it also kept our kids really fresh. We had fresh legs going at the end of the year. So it helped us in some ways.
I know when, you got a team that, plays as well as, Beaver Dam has played, it's, sometimes an adversity situation like that can maybe help, strengthen the team and kind of help them maybe focus in a little bit more, I guess, at times, because sometimes you get through the lulls of the season. That kind of happen after 2 months into the season. You start really getting into the routines of things. You kind of get stuck in a rut. Was that sort of like did it allow a chance for your team to sort of focus in again, or kind of provide any opportunities like that?
One of the opportunities we kind of gave all the kids in groups of 2 to kind of do scouting reports on teams we'd be seeing in the future. So those kids had those days off. They did a really good job. I was impressed with some of the reports. They gave up PowerPoint presentations, and then they had to present it in front of the team. So yeah, I kind of gave some of those opportunities, and it did kind of give some kids a chance to look within a little bit. And like I said, we go pretty hard in practice, so sometimes it's nice to have some of those days off as well.
Once again, we are talking with Beaver Dam girls basketball coach Tim Chase here on the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO, streaming live on dailydodge.com. And for the first time ever, live video streaming as well. Coach, I want to bring up the Naples tournament. You guys played down in Florida a couple games a little after Christmas. I think that was December 27th through the 29th, around there. If you could, for somebody who may not have heard how this trip got started, sort of where did this idea come from to go down to Naples for this holiday shootout tournament?
We were looking at some high-profile tournaments to go to. We had some pretty good teams coming back or a lot of players coming back from the last couple of years with some pretty good teams. So we were hoping to do the Nike tournament in Arizona. Was kind of our first choice at the time, but there's a rule in the WIA that you can't play 4 games at one time, so we weren't able to do that. And the coaches that had been involved in these type of tournaments said the next best tournament out there was the Naples tournament. They have 2 brackets of 8. We contacted them. They said they'd love to have us come down. So what they try to do is put 4 of the best teams in Florida against 4 out-of-state teams. So there's a team from Georgia in our bracket, and a team from Kentucky in our bracket, and then I believe there's another. I think another of the teams was from Georgia as well that was there. So it was just a great bracket of teams, and then the other bracket of teams from Illinois and Ohio and different places like that as well. So just a great level of basketball down there.
Was one of the reasons behind this was to get your team exposed to some different teams out there, some different a different challenge, I guess I could say, from playing teams here in the state? Was this to kind of broaden their experiences and playing different teams outside of the state?
Yeah, I think you always want to grow as a team, and seeing different things. Sometimes when you you're playing the same teams over and over again, and we kind of over scout a lot of teams, so we kind of know what's going on, and they do the same to us. So for us to have to go against some different opponents, the level of play down there, I mean Big Ten basketball is good for the women, but you start looking at ACC, SEC teams, and this is where these kids are going to school, and you start seeing the Floridas and the Georgias and those kind of coaches in the crowd watching games. It picks it up a lot, and the level of play we saw. I mean, we saw McDonald's All-Americans playing and things like that. It's just an amazing level, and it made our kids pick up their game quite a bit.
You guys made it to the final in that one. Let me mention, lost to Miami Country Day, one of the best teams in the country. I know nobody likes to lose. You hate to lose, but was it after that game when you guys were still well within, winning that one? It was I think a single-digit loss, I believe, in that one. But did you feel that one after that game, like, this team, I know you guys won 2 championships in a row, but when you go up against some of the top competition in the country and you are winning games and you're coming up really close to winning, did your confidence in this team grow a little bit more after that tournament in Naples?
Yeah, I think after about a week we were really disappointed. I mean, the girls, we didn't talk very much on the way home from to the hotel that night. We sat down and got back with them and just talked about everything that had gone well, that we'd gotten to that championship, that we outscored the number 1 team at the country in a couple weeks they were going to be in the first quarter, and we made a great comeback in the fourth quarter and had it down to 5 with some possessions. So I think after a couple of days and it sunk in, the kids understood what we had accomplished down there, that we had beaten some really good teams, that and that was the thing, and we competed. And against the team who's now the number 1 best team in the country, we got them to turn it over in the fourth quarter. They scored 4 points against us in the fourth quarter. So I think in a lot of ways it gave us confidence as well that we can play with anybody.
Now, one part I want to bring up with this was the support shown by the Beaver Dam community when you guys went down there. We streamed all the games on dailydodge.com. We had hundreds of people watching it, and I think there was a large contingency of people from the area who went down to watch that game as well. Just what did you see from the support that you guys had from the local area here in that tournament?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that makes coaching in Beaver Dam extremely special. It is a big deal to everybody we run into. I mean, we were just shocked by the pictures we'd seen in video people would send us of all the people at different places watching, the live stream, and just the cheering and the support we got. And I think that was one of the more surprising things. We came back from Florida, and we thought everybody was going to say, hey, you guys lost, you guys aren't that good. But it was the opposite. Everybody was just so impressed with us in the community and just proud of us. And I think that made us even more want to go out and really finish this season the right way, because we did not have one person say, you guys lost. Everybody's like, you guys did awesome down in Florida. And that meant a lot to our girls, because they put their heart and soul into this game. To have that support, like I said, just made them want to do even more and more.
Now, is this something that, it's always tough to commit to anything or talk about next year, but is this kind of something that you guys kind of want to always talk about and have in your mind of maybe looking at tournaments throughout the country as, bringing your team down to these tournaments and playing in them every year?
Yeah, if we get invited to things like that, we will. Next year, we're going back up to Minnesota to play a couple games at St. Olaf's. It's a nice event because we can bring our JV and varsity to that next year. And they also play Minnesota plays the same rules as Wisconsin with the 2 18-minute halves, and it's a college-length floor, which is nice. And we are going back down to the Chicago event, too, down at Fremd High School, which is a nice event. It's just nice to go play some different teams. And, when you play in these bigger profile events, too, it helps our kids a lot. Because of the college coaches that come to these events, so it creates a lot of interest for our kids. So, we're not going to do a trip quite as big as Florida next year, but in the future, we'll have to see. These are invite tournaments, too, so you have to perform. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, if we're performing well and we get the opportunity, it may be something we look at again.
Now, Coach, I want to ask you about your seniors on your team. You're losing a couple, players this year, but if you could just talk about their impacts over the course of their 4 years for you on your team.
Yeah, we had an amazing group of seniors. In 4 years with these seniors, they never complained about playing time, never complained about how many points they're scoring, never complained about other kids. Just an amazing group of kids that did everything right way. Lainey Radel, Marissa Baylor were our managers. They just did a great job for us these years, got everything in order. Just a great group of kids that did everything right. We had 3 starter seniors this year. Paige Schumer's going to Eastern Illinois, just the heart and soul of our team. Just did anything she possibly could to make this team better. Tara Staubacher is going down to Madison. Just an unbelievable, great talent, competitive kid, just brings it every single day. Allie Van Loo, our post player, just going to North Dakota, just had a great career for us, ended up second all-time in rebounds, top 10 in scoring. So just great. Back to Paige. Paige was second all-time in assists with over 500 assists, top 5 in scoring all-time. Tara ended up second in scoring and top 10 in rebounds. And then our other 2 seniors as well, Grace Scharfenberg and Rachel Urich, who were really a glue to our team. really, really good basketball players, would have been starters on any other team in the area, but just gave of themselves to make this team better. When they got their opportunity, they played some really good basketball for us this year.
You mentioned Tara Stoffaker going to play at Madison next year. She hit a huge milestone over the course of this season. I think it was on January 12th. She hit 1,000 career points. Only happened 3 times before in program history. But just what was that moment like for her hitting that milestone?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard thing to do. I mean, you've got to really put a lot of time and effort to. You got to stay healthy. Tara's came to our program and just has been from day one, worked extremely hard. So one of our best free throw shooters and three-point shooters in school history. It's a kid who's done things the right way, but with hard work. So definitely impressive that she's done. But she'd be the first to tell you it's because of her teammates. Her teammates setting her up, setting screens for her, getting the ball in the right spot. So, just a great teammate.
Once again, we're talking with Beaver Dam girls basketball head coach Tim Chase here on the High School OT. We do have to take a break. We'll be back after this break.
You're listening to the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO and DailyDodge.com.
Prairie Ridge Health Clinics in Columbus, Marshall, and Beaver Dam have you covered, accepting most major insurances including Unity, Dean, Physicians Plus, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Alliance, and more. Columbus Community Hospital, building a caring relationship one patient at a time. To learn more, visit columbuscommunityhospital.org.
A career in manufacturing offers opportunity for growth and a bright future. Brian is a human resource specialist who's seen many people take their careers from the ground floor into management.
You can start as an assembler or a welder. You can go to college, get your degree, come back in as a scheduler, a supervisor, continue to grow your career into manufacturing management, and on up into the higher ranks of any of our companies here. One of the nice things about manufacturing is this is a business where many of our senior managers truly have practical experience on the production floor. That's an awesome experience to grow your talent internal to your company. Your first job is not going to be your last job. It's your first job of a career in manufacturing.
Explore the opportunities in manufacturing online at manufacturingworks.org or at Moraine Park Technical College in Fond du Lac, Beaver Dam, or West Bend. This message was brought to you by Kirsch Foundry and Apache Stainless Equipment.
St. Vincent de Paul is accepting donations of gently used items. Donations can be dropped off at the thrift store located behind Ponderosa on Dodge Drive. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 6, closed on Sundays. Or you can call St. Vincent de Paul at 920-885-6971. That's 920-885-6971 to schedule a free pickup. Be sure to like Dodge County St. Vincent de Paul store on Facebook so you can see their weekly specials. They look forward to seeing you, and God bless.
The best local sports coverage around. It's the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO and DailyDodge.com.
Welcome back into the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO, streaming live on DailyDodge.com, and for the first time ever, video streaming live as well. Once again, we're talking with Beaver Dam girls basketball head coach Tim Chase. He's brought in the golden ball for all of our viewers who are watching live on our video stream as well, the 2019 championship. Coach, before the break, I was asking you about the senior players and just kind of the roles they played on your team. You guys have a team that is filled with a lot of talent. Something you said before the break, a lot of your players could be starters on teams elsewhere across the area. What did it take, and what was the players' mentality into buying into a system where it is a full team commitment every night? Some players might not play as many minutes as they would like or get up as many shots as they would like every night. But just what's that like, kind of cultivating a culture where your team is not about an I mentality, it's about the team, and every single one of your players are committed to winning as a team?
Yeah, I mean, I give them so much credit for the attitudes they have about that and how selfless they really are. It would be real easy to be selfish and say, I got to get mine. And every day in practice, these kids just get that. And I think we try to cultivate it through our drills we do in practice and try to get that feeling of that. But like I said, it's amazing because we see a lot of other teams out there, And a lot of teams have problems with that, and that's why they're not as successful.
Now, we see a lot of the players, the girls play on the court. We hear a lot. That's pretty much the only time we see them. Talk a little bit about kind of what they're like, what this team has been like off the court, kind of what their camaraderie is, what you guys, team functions or anything like that. What's the atmosphere off of the court for this team?
I know we always talk about having a lot of fun off the court. Once we get on the court, it's a different story. We're focused. They do a lot of team dinners together. They hang out together a lot. We did a project for Special Olympics this year where we refereed all the Special Olympic games here in town when they had a tournament. They do stuff with a lot of the younger kids in our community, like kindergarten through second graders with our Little Hoopsters program. And they really enjoy those things, but they are just the most grounded, down-to-earth people that you've run into. And we always talk about, the trophies are great, but people are going to remember you more for how you act and how you treat it, and just try to go out of your way to be respectful to anybody that we run into. And I think that's probably one thing that I'm probably the most proud of about our program, is that we're not only getting accolades from people in Beaver Dam, but people from around the state were really cheering for us this year because we felt like we've done things the right way.
Now, Coach, it's always, we talk about all the star players. You guys are filled with a lot of very good players, but who are some of the role players, bench players that, who may not show up every night on the box score, who may not put up a lot of points every night, but still they contribute in a big way to you guys winning a lot?
Yeah, well, our junior class, I don't ever think Jada Donaldson gets enough control. I know she's one of our starters and a kid who plays a lot, but I still don't think she gets enough respect for what she's done for us. She's been basically our lockdown defender for 3 years, and we've got 3 of these right here. So she's one kid I think does not get the credit she deserves. Carly Burkhart's another one of our juniors that's a tremendous offensive player. You're going to see huge things from her next year, but every day brought it this year, and is going to have a really, really good season for us next year. A couple other juniors, Gracie Medeiros and Anna Strabel, have been great players in our program since 3rd grade. They are part of the Beaver Dam basketball and have been part of some really successful teams through youth basketball now in high school. Our sophomore group, obviously, everybody knows Maddie Wilkie, but Maddie Wilkie's just a tremendous, tremendous teammate. One of the best things I can say about Maddie Wilkie, she comes to practice every day trying to make her teammates better. Most kids will just come working on their game. She wants to make her teammates better. Natalie Jens just has a motor about her. Another kid who wasn't a starter for us this year, but gosh, she put up great stats for us, and she brings it every single day, stays after practice all the time to get extra shots in. Paige Hodgins, another one of those kids that's going to be a great player in the future for us. You're going to see some real talented things from her. You got to see little flashes from her this year, but you're going to see amazing things. Avery Stonewall is going to be a great rebounder and a great player for us next year as well. And then Paige Jagodinsky, she played some minutes for us as well this year. So all the kids on this team, we had 14 kids that played. All of them did their role perfectly this year, and that's, it was a dream season because they all played their role to exactly what we needed them to do.
Coach, we talk about the players, we talk about your role on the team. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the assistant coaches and the roles that they play. How important are they to you guys and the success that you guys have had?
And we have the best staff in the state, I really honestly believe. Dan Hall was a former boys coach, played college basketball. He's been with us 10 years, 10 conference championships, 10 regional championships, 4 trips to state. So we just have a connection with each other. We just seem to fit whatever we need to get together. Our really, really good. Allie Wilkie's our JV coach, but works with our varsity kids a lot. I don't believe there's a better skills coach in the state than Allie Wilkie. She just gets the game. She's always trying to make players better, which is that kind of her thing. And like I said, if you was somebody who wants your kid to become a better basketball player, talk to Allie Wilkie, and she'll get your kid to become a better basketball player. And then our other 2 assistants, Corey Franke and James Madoran, really help us a lot in practice. Are just excited to be part of something special. And I think that's the thing that I get from our whole staff is they have a passion for basketball. They love these girls that we coach this year. They'll do anything for them to be successful, but they just really enjoy the experiences that we've had over the years.
Coach, where do you see this program going? You really kind of been here for a long time now. You've sort of built this program up now. You guys have won 3 consecutive state titles. You talk about this is the peak. This is what every coach strives for when they start, their coaching careers at any school. Now you have achieved that. What's the next step in your career, in your coaching career here at the Beaver Dam program? Kind of where do you see this program going in the future?
We got to keep on working to get better. That's the thing. I think if you're not honestly trying to become a better basketball player and a better team, then you're going to go in the wrong direction. So we've got some things, a lot of great kids coming back next year, a lot of the kids that I mentioned before, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. What we did was not easy. It just didn't magically happen. And the kids that are in our younger grades now are, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grades, even our 3rd and 4th graders playing. Just because you have Beaver Dam on the front of your jersey doesn't necessarily guarantee success. So everybody's going to have to put a lot of time, and everybody's going to kind of have to keep on working. And there's levels of success. I mean, and that's, what we did this year was really special. And we'll just have to keep on striving to be successful in whatever we can do.
When do you start sowing those seeds for next season?
Today I'm going to go down and watch the 8th graders play.
Doesn't ever stop?
No, it doesn't. I mean, and unfortunately, we enjoy it, but this is what we do. This is what we love doing. So, yeah, I mean, we'll spend some time working with our younger kids. I'll bring a lot of the younger kids in, the middle school age kids, because you can't with the high school kids until the summer, just to kind of get them familiar. I really like to spend a lot of time with our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. That way they can kind of understand what our expectations are, and then they can also kind of see, if there's somebody that they want to continue to work with. So yeah, it's a fun trip for us to work with those kids, and to watch our younger kids develop their skills is a lot of fun as well.
Once again, we're talking with Beaver Dam girls basketball coach Tim Chase. Thank you, Coach, again for hopping on with us this morning on the program. Want to also thank all the other coaches from the area who take their time to talk with us here on the program over the course of the year. I really appreciate their time and talking with us. Want to thank our engineer Ninja behind the camera for coming in early for the program. But this has been the High School OT on 95.3 WXRO and streaming live on DailyDodge.com.